Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's SoulSaint here, and we do have some upcoming news and updates coming with us, and I wanted to kind of share my experience with you guys and just kind of get my votes and kind of just do this live with you guys as we're here and enjoying the moment. So, with that being said, we do have a Community Choice Award event vote coming up where people can basically choose their fan art of the year, the meme of the year, the best cosplay, content creator of the year, streamer of the year, top non-English speaking content creator, and strategy master. Basically, I think we just click the details here, which I'm going to pull up a link for, and then it's going to require us to, I think, provide our player ID, so I'm going to go and get that real quick. But outside of that, I think for the most part, I think it's info. There it is. Okay. So I got that. And it brings up this link for you guys to be able to look at the Community Choice Awards vote. Yo, this is all prestige and stuff. Look at that. Is that Glaceia? That's Glaceia, isn't it? Let me see. The Raid Awards are coming, and we need your vote to determine the winners of the Community Choice Awards. This part of the show is dedicated to members of the Raid community whose contributions have had the most impact this year. It's up to you to determine the winners. Remember, each player can vote only once. All right. I think is it like, it's supposed to be like our in-game name? Is that what they mean? Like, I gotta do this. Hold up. AKG. And I think it's SoulSaint. Is there a space there? No. SoulSaint. Hopefully that works out that way, right? That's my assumption. By signing up, you agree to our terms of service. Yep. I give up my liberty to do everything. All right, let's see here. Vote for a single nominee in each category. Don't forget to hit the submit button once you've made your selection. Okay, cool. Fan art of the year. I won't lie. I actually didn't get a chance to see too much from people, and I think the only two that I might have seen some art for, I think, was Quinn and that Crispy Devil. I think those are the only two I done. So I feel like this one wouldn't be as fair in terms of like a category to vote for. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Quinn. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Meme of the year. I'm not going to lie. This one might be even harder because I don't actually remember, but I feel like Diabetes Kaniji. It's actually super good. Madman 2X. I'm not exactly sure who I would actually want to post here because these are some interesting ones here. I'll tell you what, we'll do Madman here. Why not? Let's see here. Best cosplay 2023. I won't lie. I feel like the only cosplays I've seen would probably be for Layla. I'm not familiar with anybody else, but I'm not going to lie. Is that the Skytouch Shaman? That's actually kind of lit. I wonder what happens when you click read more. Pulled no punches with this photo set featuring the Skytouch Shaman. Yeah, that's actually kind of lit. I like the helmet. It's kind of huge too, but I mean that is accurate. Oh, they got the full Fire Knight. Okay, so the full picture's actually kind of lit. Is that supposed to be Narma? Question mark? Allure? Ooh, this is actually kind of hard. If I had to pick for the, I think I have to go with the helmet. Yeah, that's clean, bro. That's too good. I think I'm gonna go Dodo cosplay. I do like Layla's allure though. I'm not good on the Narma. Narma just creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared. All right, let's see here. Content creator of the year. Man, this is a hard one because I feel like each one of these guys have contributed something very, very prominent. I feel like Ash always, when it comes to like energy, he has a really good energy, and I feel like something that respectable I try to emulate in some capacity. I feel like he does a really good job of like emulating really good energy, and I try to reciprocate a similar experience to a lot of people like you guys that are watching. So Hell Hades is a great place for information. I think Scratch is too, to be honest with you. Nubs, I feel like for Nubs, I think a lot of his stuff was focused around Hydra, so I don't know if people or if Nubs himself actually does like a lot of Hydra content still to this day. I honestly will say right now, the one that I've been leaning towards, even though love for all four of the guys, I think right now I lean towards Scratch. I think Scratch right now has impressed me the most recently when I watched a lot of his content. I think he has a very good approach to giving you like different sides of the spectrum of like different states of progression. And I feel like Hell Hades, for example, would be the only strong component against him, whereas he's a little bit more tailored towards like your early game players. So getting a little bit more of a bigger bag of like of your experience when it comes to a diverse player pool of experience, being able to tap into each one of those, I think is something that Scratch does a pretty good job in. Something I also try to emulate. So kudos to him. I'm gonna give it to Scratch. Streamer of the year. Where's SoulSaint? No, I'm not gonna lie. So I know of Bashar. I know of Jacobo. I think I did raid him once. Very, very wholesome guy, by the way. I don't mind him. Nevis. I think that's an IPR guy. So for those that don't know, there's clans in the game, and I believe Nevis might be a representative of IPR. I'm familiar of the clan. I know of him. I don't know him. And then, of course, this bozo, this little cutie, who I whisper sweet nothing into his DMs. There's obviously a bias here. Final Kenpachi. I'm gonna vote Jacobo. No, I'm just kidding. It's got to be Kenpachi. It's got to be Kenpachi. That's my guy. That's my guy. Honestly, I think in terms of like the EU consistent version of me, I think that's Kenpachi. That's my boy. That's my boy. I gotta vote for the Kenpachi, man. I gotta vote for the Kenpachi. All right, top non-English speaking content creator. This is actually a lot harder. Aang is actually really, really cool. I think he's another one that I rated also that was very, very wholesome. I think he speaks Portuguese. Farb stuff I also rated recently before in the past, and good vibes there too as well. Honestly, if I had to give it to someone, I think it's got to be Farb stuff, simply because of the fact that his contributions, even if he's not an English speaking traditionally, like, you know, an English speaker, which is my primary language, his influence or his effects that he's caused to the community by having the inclusion of like RSL helper and whatnot, I think it speaks for itself. So I think there's obviously a very big win there. I feel like half a player when it comes to not having like RSL helper. Like when it's down, I'm like, what's going on, Farb stuff? Bring it back. You know, like that's my first hand, and I know the logistics behind it. Like they have to do updates whenever the game gets updated. They have to kind of follow along with it and, you know, pick the program and make sure it's up to date and spiffy and clean, and then new features and all that stuff. So I honestly have to say Farb stuff has made my quality of life when it comes to playing Raid a lot better. And if you guys haven't checked out RSL helper, his team is the brainchild behind that. You know, that's his brainchild there. So big salutes to him and his efforts in terms of being a contributing content creator for all of Raid. Honestly, I can't sing nothing but praises. So, Strategy Master. To overcome a challenge, one must understand that these content creators focus on tactics, the strengths and weaknesses of champions, and the unique challenges of various game modes. Who amongst them is the most masterful strategist? This is actually the most weirdest one to kind of have an answer for. Scratch, I think he kind of scratches a little. I know it's kind of funny. Scratch actually scratches a little bit of everything. Shinny is your PvP focus. Deadwood Jedi is your clan boss focus, particularly Demon Lord. I think I'd have to cut off Deadwood, although his contributions cannot be undervalued. I think Shinny is still finding his stride. I think he's getting into his prime right now, and I got big respect for him. I would love to do a collab with him, but I think he's a very knowledgeable person in the PvP side, for sure. Scratch, I kind of just gave him a win already, so I don't want to give him too many rewards. I don't know. Maybe. But I think I might give it to Bronco, because the reason why is, like, Bronco's hanged out with me in some of my live streams, but also I've actually applied some of the strategies that he's done for some very, very weird ones. I'm actually going to go ahead and pivot here on this one to in-game. And although I think he's also a rising creator himself, actually the event period, because we just had a reset, but last rotation, he actually did something that was really, really cool with the aspect of just incorporating one champion, which was Bazaar, who is a sneaky, underrated champion to give to give value towards, and he actually incorporated a way to be able to do Amius with only him, which I thought was very, very impressive, and that bred opportunities to include like Oboro, which was basically an application of his concept that he introduced to the game, and he also does some other really cool stuff with like Emic. Oh my god, he's an Emic stan, right? So I think that, like, although he is on the newer platform in terms of like being a newer creator, I think he's a really good contribution to like being that Brainiac, which is like a strategy master, right? And I think that shines really, really cool. Scratch, Shinny, and Deadwood, they all are aware of the meta, and they definitely give really good output for it, but I think he is the unorthodox. He is the enigma, and I give that to Bronco. And I think that's why I'm going to give it to Bronco. Yeah. Big respects to all these guys, though. I mean, a lot of Deadwood Jedi's like concepts when it comes to like clan bosses, like undefeated. I even apply a lot of builds that I do from like other people in the community that do takeovers and whatnot. I do a lot of stuff that's referred from Deadwood, so like a lot of it's just an application of what they've already discovered, right? Shinny, although I've adopted like one concept from him that I think has applied very well for me, I think I would like to study him a little bit more and see like what he brings to the table. Scratch being a general catch-all at a much more higher stake, kind of like similar to like Hell Hades, makes him a very strong champion, but I feel like he is it's like I want that uniqueness. I want something that makes this really stand out. So I think I'm gonna go with Bronco for sure. Yo, this is really cool to be able to see it here. I'm gonna go ahead and submit my vote now. I think that puts it there. You successfully voted. All right, here we go. So 60% voted for them. 23%. I feel bad about the first two because I don't feel like those as much. But I won't lie, the Dodo cosplay is really, really dope. Content Creator of the Year, they didn't give it to Scratcher, really. I think he's on the lower end. Stream of the Year, obviously Kenpachi and Farb Stuff for non-English speaker content creator. I think those are no-brainers. Strategy Master Bronco. This might be a little bit like I don't want to say unorthodox as a thing because I feel like there is a little bit of a popularity contest that goes inside this, but regardless, I think this is really, really cool. We do have a fusion skill voting section, which I think is going to be another thing we're going to jump into here. For those of you guys don't know, I believe that they have already talked about this a little bit. We're going to see this here on the 11th through the 25th. I think there's going to be different variations that we're going to have, like you're going to be able to vote for different parts of their kit, so look forward to that in the future. I did want to touch on it a little bit that like we're going to probably do our own separate video on that when that time comes. But I think that's really cool. I think this is a really cool experience to be able to have like some interaction with the company, the interaction with playing and being able to give our 2 pennies on like what we want, you know, and I think that's kind of cool. I think that's really, really cool. I got one more thing I want to share with you guys. We're going to do a live reaction to the sneak peek of some stuff, and maybe that'll segue into our next video here, which is going to talk about some of the other stuff that we're going to have coming up for the game, including something we just talked about. Let's get a breakdown into it. Let's see what's going on here. I love this guy's voice announcement.
An exciting upcoming event.
Let me start this over just so we actually start on the right foot here. I need this to go full screen, please. Thank you.
Hey everyone, we've got a very
is this Player HQ?
For you today. Our focus is on an exciting upcoming event that's all about you, the community. Introducing
you got dang right.
Community Weeks. What exactly is Community Weeks? Well, spanning almost a full month, this event celebrates you.
Who uses Nari? Stop lying.
Different activities happening throughout that
I'm being petty. I'm sorry.
So let's dive in and see what's coming. We're kicking things off with a free legendary champion, Mate Chronicler Adlin.
That's a 7-day login champion, I believe, right?
Amazing support champion, proving that the
we're gonna do a breakdown on her kit soon.
Than the sword. Adlin is made even more special by the fact that she can bypass the block debuffs buffs when placing her own debuffs.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Restore destroyed HP and put enemies to sleep without hitting them. She's gonna slot right into your Sand Devil teams. Look out, Alname. Adlin's coming.
Is that actually how you say Sand Devil's name, Alname?
Couldn't be easier. You just need to log in.
We're just gonna call him Sand Devil.
Days between April 11th and July 8th.
Yep.
But for
7-day login.
Weeks, we're taking it to the next level. This isn't your average login reward program.
Blessings.
14 days worth of login rewards.
That better not only be 2-star. You're trolling. No, this is phase 1. Okay, hold on.
Perfect soul for Adlin, and so much more. And
hit the phase 2 tab, you won't. Hit phase 2, you won't.
Starts once you've claimed all 14 rewards available in phase 1. In phase 2, you'll simply need
they clicked it
by winning battles in multiple different game modes over the next 3 weeks.
That's awesome. 5-star blessing you can acquire. That's awesome. Actually. Okay.
Split souls to get Adlin to level 5 of Awakening.
All right, I'm gonna pause this here. Yo, we love energy. Let's start there. We don't care about multi-battle. Shout out to Farb Stuff. 6-star banner, necklace, and ring. So I guess it's kind of like a little bit of a W. We take those.
One more thing. If you don't
we also beat out that
primal
primal shard.
From phase 1 before July 8th, they'll be replaced with the equivalent reward, but for the epic orc champion, Shaman. You will miss out on a unique Adlin-themed avatar. So be sure to log in and get those rewards. Getting a free legend.
At least everybody gets her.
Is pretty cool. But what about helping to create one? Meet Vault Keeper Wixwell. He's going
to be
Mr.
Wixwell
champion. But there's something a little special about him. You're going to be
that animation was actually really, really cool.
There's going to be 4 rounds of voting between April 11th and April 25th, where you'll get to vote between 3 options for each of
tomorrow,
4 skills.
At the time of this
each
recording.
round will feature a damage-focused option, a support-focused option, and a defense-focused option for you to vote on. The first round will be for Wixwell's 3rd active skill, which will act as the cornerstone of his kit. After that, you'll then vote on his 2nd active skill, then his default skill, and finally, his passive skill. The details of when this round of voting takes place is on screen now. Mark your calendars and get campaigning.
So before we go any further, I did make this statement because we already kind of heard teasers and a little bit of like conversations about him before this actual sneak peek. My tinfoil hat theory about this whole guy is going to be that a lot of the player base, and this is going to be the telling about where you can really identify where players are at in this game. One, I kind of go off of 4 delineations of where a player is at. You got early, mid game, late game, end game, right? And depending on where the votes go the most is going to be a clear indicator where the player base is as a whole. Forget just your small YouTube pocket. Forget your Twitch pocket. I'm talking about the whole of Raid, where everybody is typically at. And you're going to see that most people are going to pick abilities that are going to best suit the needs that they have for their account. And that's going to be a really telling sign about where they're going to be at in terms of their progression. So I think this is going to be very, very informative for people who are peeping it out.
Up to you. When will you find out the results? Well,
Just saying. I feel like it's going to be chaotic, his kid. Just being real.
After another major component of Community Weeks. Our first ever Raid Community Awards show. This is a glitzy awards.
That's what we were voting on, I think. That's going to be announced there.
The biggest impact on the game in 2023.
Arbiter.
We couldn't have a community awards show without our community choosing some of the winners. As part of the Raid Community Awards, we're giving you the chance to vote for the winners in one particular category, the Community Choice Awards. Between April 10th and April 25th, you'll be able to vote on several categories that will all feature in the Community Choice section of the Raid Community Awards. Don't worry about missing out. We'll put the links all over social media and in the game itself.
Which they did.
We've already got our nominee shortlist sorted, with fan artists, meme makers, cosplayers, and content creators all getting their moment in the spotlight. You can only cast a single vote for each award, so choose carefully. The Raid Community Awards will premiere on the official Raid YouTube channel.
I believe Nubs is going to be a co-host on that one, right?
Grab your best tuxedos and ball gowns. The show will also
that's
include
cool.
some fun facts about Raid over the years.
That's pretty.
As well as some surprise guests.
That's detailed.
All right, that's enough spoilers. We can't wait to see you there. And that's it for today's sneak peek. Don't forget to like the video.
Okay, so it's kind of like just a rundown.
Keep an eye out for any Community Weeks announcements. I'm off to get my tux from the dry cleaners. See you.
Who can afford tuxes nowadays? What? All right. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think that's actually really, really cool. I feel like the new champion is definitely designed towards like being very sleep-oriented from what I heard. I'll actually do like a full breakdown on her kit when we get closer to like her release date. But I think for the most part, the main thing is that we wanted to see if they started talking a little bit more about Wixwell, which I think is going to be very exciting. As of right now, I do feel like his kit, depending on how people vote, I'm hoping that people go for like the OP stuff, and that's how you can have like a better champion. But I feel like I said, they're going to be doing their fusion, or they're going to pick their abilities for this next fusion champion based off of what they need for their account, and that's going to be a really big telling sign. I don't know. You guys let me know. Did you guys vote for somebody different comparatively to what I voted for in terms of my choice awards? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys are excited for Wixwell when he comes up in May to vote for his abilities, let me know too. Are you also excited for the new champion that we're going to get for our daily login? Are you excited to see her in action? Are you excited to use her? If not, let me know why not. As always, we're always curious to see what you got to say. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember, stay ascending.